Hello Elucidat authors, and welcome to this Level 2 video about working efficiently. Here I'm going to show you how you can collaborate to save time, including how you can share and adapt existing content. One of the great things about Elucidat being cloud-based is it allows more than one person to work in a project at the same time. So for example, if you've got an instructional designer and a graphic artist both working on the same project, then they can be in the account at the same time, which can really speed things up and mean you can work efficiently together as a team. Secondly, there are a number of different ways that you can save time by sharing pages between projects. So that's content that already exists that you might want to reuse either within a project or between different projects. Finally, you can duplicate whole projects, allowing you to use them as templates and then adapt them as your needs require. So if we jump into the tool, you can see that we're here on the start page. And one of the things I just want to mention quickly is this create from another project feature. This will allow you to select specific pages from an existing project and create a new project from those. This is really useful if there's a section of an existing project or some very specific content within it that you want to use as the basis for your new project. I'm not going to talk you through that here, but if it is something that you're interested in, then do take a look at the Create a New Project video that you can see elsewhere. Now if we go into one of my existing projects, there are a couple of different things I can talk about here which will really help you in speeding up creating content and allowing you to work efficiently. Firstly, if there's a page within your project that you know you like the styling of, whether that's a specific way that the layout's been changed or custom changes that you've made to it, then you can very easily go into this menu and select duplicate, and that creates a whole new copy that you can then go on and edit the changes in. If there are a number of different pages that you want to duplicate, then you can just select these like this. And you'll see at the top a new menu has appeared, and these will allow you to duplicate those pages en masse or delete them. The delete can be quite useful if you've copied a lot of content from elsewhere and decide you don't need a couple of pages, or if you're making changes to update a course. I also want to show you this feature, Create New Chapter, which will take the pages that you've selected and move them to a new chapter that it's creating for you. So I'm going to do that now. You'll see I'm then getting the option to choose where to put the new chapter. I'm going to pop this down here, and you'll see it's moved them for me. This can be really useful if you want to break up some existing chapters into shorter ones. For now, I actually don't want them down there, so I'm going to move them back where they were, which I can do quite easily just by selecting them and dragging them at the same time. Next, I want to talk you through how you can import a page from an existing project. This can be really useful, for example, if there's a page that's had a lot of custom settings and custom changes made to it that you want to adapt and use within your project. So to do that, you just click on Import. That will bring up a list of the projects that exist in your account, so you just select the one you want and click Next. Here you can see it's showing me all the pages within that project, and I can either select them all or select them individually. So in this case, I just want the welcome page. I'll click Finish. And there you can see it's been incorporated into my existing project. So I'm just going to move that up to the top, because I want it to be the first thing that my learners see just before my menu. This has created a duplicate page and added to my project, so any changes that I made here will have no effect on the project that I've borrowed it from. One thing it's useful to be aware of when you are importing pages from other screens is that they will take on the style of your existing project. However, if custom changes were made to the style on a specific page in the original project, they will be brought through too. So you may have to go in and do a bit of extra tweaking to make sure it fits with your existing project. Finally, if we go into this project, I can show you another feature of Elucidat that can be very useful when it comes to adapting existing content and working quite efficiently. You'll see within the structure of this project, I've got a welcome page followed by a menu, which then links off to my two chapters. And that can be a really nice structure to work from. And once you've got that set up once, or a structure that you think will be useful for you to reuse in the future, then you can duplicate that whole project and use it as a template to adapt and start from. So to do that, you'd go into the Configure section and simply click the Duplicate button over here. you'll see that it asks you to put in a name for your project, and by default it takes the current name with the word duplicate at the end, which can be quite useful if you're not sure what you want to call it right now, but it does reinforce that this is a separate project that you're creating, and any changes that you make here will still leave your original project intact. So now my project has been duplicated and I can go straight to it. Here we are in it, or I can go to the Pages menu and start making changes that way. So there are some quick ways that you can recreate and adapt existing content, for example custom layouts or any specific content that is useful for you to reuse. So to close, here are some top tips. Firstly, if you are working on a project with your colleagues, communication is key. Make sure that you're not overlapping any tasks, and it's also a good idea to let people know which area that you're working in so that you don't get any clashes with saves. Secondly, remember that you can duplicate and then adapt existing content, whether that's from a new project or within a project, and that will really speed up the authoring process. Finally, it's a great idea to share best practice examples with your colleagues. So if you've created some content that you think is very innovative, or you've done a lot of work on stylings, then let people know about that, because it will open up opportunities for them to share those layouts or structures and save them time in the long run.